third of its price. Dell sat at the table, his mind working at the speed of a card shark's hands. No, no, they won't. I'm a trader. I've been trading since I was 12. I could sell rice to the Chinese. The firm's liquidated, Dell, Rodney said, leaning against the doorframe. You're disqualified from running it. It's over. Not necessarily, Dell smirched. The firm can go on. It just needs a new managing director. Someone young, enthusiastic, someone full of ideas. Someone. He looked at Rodney. Rodney pointed to himself. The Wabbi. You want me to run Trotter's Independent Traders? Think about it, Rodney. Legally, there's nothing stopping you. You're clean, mostly. We go to the lawyer. We make you the MD. Rodney Trotter, managing director, has a ring to it, doesn't it? And so the transition began. The Peckham Echo soon carried a small advertisement. Trotter's Independent Traders, now under new management. Managing Director, Rodney Trotter. Consultancy and party planning. In the Nag's Head, Boyke read the ad and nearly choked on his large cognac. Managing Director, Rodney. I've seen better management in a monkey house. But for the Trotters, it was a spark of hope. Rodney took to the role with a terrifying level of sincerity. He started listening to Mozart's Symphony No. 38 to ease his executive stress. He demanded that Cassandra answer the phone with a professional voice. Trotter's Independent Traders, how may I help you? Cassandra sighed into the receiver one evening, looking at Rodney, who was wearing a suit that was slightly too large for him. Yes, this is he, Rodney said, taking the phone with a flourish. Managing Director Rodney Trotter speaking. His face went pale. He looked at Dell. It's the representative of the Sultan of Brunei. Dell nearly fell off his chair. The Sultan. Tell him we don't do windows on Fridays. He wants to consult with me, Rodney whispered. He bought a 3-wheeled van and wants to know how to start it on cold mornings. Dell's face dropped. Nicky Pierce. I'm going to kill that boy. Chapter 6. Fantasy Therapy and Failed Gambles. The stress of the bankruptcy and the new management was taking its toll on the brothers' relationships. Cassandra and Rodney were trying for a baby, but the hiccups remained. It's memory baggage, Rodney explained to Cassandra as they sat in a quiet restaurant. He had been reading a West Coast American magazine. Fantasy Therapy. We become different people. Reborn. Iconoclastic autosuggestion. Does this involve dressing up, Rodney? Cassandra asked, her suspicion piqued. Absolutely not. It's all up here. He tapped his temple. We create a make-believe world. An hour later, they were back at the flat. Rodney was wearing a gladiator outfit he'd found in a bargain bin at a costume shop, and Cassandra was dressed as a policewoman. You look scary, darling, Dell said, walking into the living room and freezing. He looked at Rodney. And you look like Spartacus with piles. It's a fancy dress party, Del, Rodney yelled, trying to hide behind a Roman shield. We're going to a bank party. At 5 in the evening, Del asked, reaching for a cigar. Well, you better hurry. Don't want to be late for the Centurion meeting. But Del had his own plans. He had applied for a new game show, a show that promised to change their lives, a show called Gold Rush. Chapter 7, The Gold Rush. The lights of the BBC studio were blinding. Jonathan Ross stood center stage, his suit sharper than a razor blade. And finally, Jonathan announced to the cheering crowd, "We have Derek Trotter from Peckham, a businessman who enjoys fine wines, the theater, and 16th century Italian Renaissance art." Del stood there, a vision in a velvet blazer, waving to the cameras as if he were royalty. Back in the flat, Rodney, Cassandra, and Raquel watched the screen in stunned silence. "He's going to do it," Raquel whispered. "He's actually going to do it." Del breezed through the early rounds. He knew that Kilimanjaro was in Africa. He knew that Fuji made cameras. He was on a roll. He was on the Rainbow Road. The 50,000 pounds question, Derek, Jonathan said, the music turning tens. Which classical guitarist wrote the opera The Child and the Enchantment? Was it Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Del hesitated. His fine art knowledge was largely based on things he'd seen on the back of biscuit tins. "I'll use my LS," Del said. "I'll call my brother, Rodney. He's a scholar. He's got to GCEs." The phone rang in the flat. Rodney picked it up, thinking it was Mickey Pierce playing another prank. "Piss off, Mickey," Rodney shouted. "Rodney, it's Jonathan Ross." Del's voice came through, frantic. "I need the answer. The opera, Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo." Rodney froze. The pressure was immense. "Ravel. It's Ravel, Del, 100%. He says Ravel," Del told the studio. The audience held its breath. Jonathan Ross looked at the card. "I'm sorry, Derek. That was the wrong answer. It was Rodrigo." The silence in the flat was deafening. Del's face on the screen went from golden hope to gray despair. He had lost everything. Again. Chapter 8, The Final Twist. Del returned to the flat late that night, his velvet blazer looking limp. "I was so certain," Rodney moaned, head in his hands. "I could have sworn it was Ravel." "Ravel makes shoes, you dipstick," Del snapped, though his heart wasn't in it. "You've upset Raquel. You've upset the nation. I'm going to be the most embarrassed man in Britain." Just then, the phone rang. "Don't answer it," Del said. "It'll be Mickey Pierce." "I'll get it," Raquel said. She picked it up, listened for a moment, and her eyes went wide. "Del, it's the producer of Gold Rush." Del took the phone, his expression cynical. "Yeah. What do you want?" "The podium. I'll pay for the damage when I'm back on my feet." Then he stopped. He listened. His eyes began to twinkle. "No, really, A mistake.